Hey everyone, so today's video I am super excited about. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our curriculum choices for this homeschool year, the 2023-2024 homeschool year. This has been a highly requested video and hopefully I can get through it all. We are actually adding our 9th student this year to our homeschool. I cannot believe that. Drew is 4 years old and is in pre-K, and even before they're 4, they still like to sit down and be involved in our homeschool. So they are always included, especially if there's interest in with our little ones, but it's not like a set requirement. So adding 9th student to the school table is going to be interesting this year. I always say that when we add a new student, because you always think, how am I going to get it all done? Somehow, some way, we always manage to get it done. If you aren't familiar with our family, let me introduce myself. I am Jessica, and this is a Fields Full House. We have 11 children, and we homeschool, and it's a lot of work. It takes up a good bit of our day. I wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love having my kids home with us and homeschooling. So Harper is almost 6 years old, so she is technically going into the 1st grade, and then our youngest that needs to kind of sit down and learn some things with mom is Drew, who is 4. We'll be doing pre-K type work, and then under that, Kinley and Camden. Kinley's almost 3 and Camden will be 2 at the end of September, and they like to be involved as well. So that's our younger crowd that will be sitting down with me. And then our middle crowd is Jackson is going into the 8th grade, Miley is going into the 6th grade, Logan is going into the 5th, and Reagan is going into the 2nd. So then our oldest crowd is Taylor will be a senior, Addison will be a junior, and Peyton will be a sophomore. Can y'all believe that? So I'm going to go through each curriculum of what we are doing. So some of them will kind of coincide because our kids, some are in the same levels, and I very much believe that we should, teach where the child is at and kind of in their way of learning. So I try to do what works best for each kid. So sometimes that means that we change things up, and that's what we have done over the years, and it works really good for our family. I do want to mention that I have a playlist titled Homeschool. I will link it in the description box below, where I have talked about or showed various homeschool, curriculum, or how we do homeschool or homeschool organization I have shared over the years. Is a good thing to look through. It's pretty much the same way that, I organize and do things, because it has just worked really well for our family. So check that out if you haven't already. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you guys is our family time, morning time, and unit studies of what we're going to be studying. I've got my cheat sheet here of this is how I kind of plan our homeschool year, as I write down each kid's name, what they need to be doing that year, especially getting into high school and middle school years. There's certain things that we need to cover. And then what I want to do as a family, I really like doing science and history and Bible together. So everybody is involved in that. And then the other big thing that I need to mention is we are part of a co-op. And for those of you who don't know what a co-op is it's a homeschool group our family attends once a week. And the reason why it's called a co-op is because each mom participates and teaches a class. So our kids actually get a lot of their extras. So geography, they cover geography, nature study, art, composer, and picture study. And I'm forgetting something else. Middle school has specific classes of microscope, and Jackson will be doing, I forget what the science, it's like a unit study, like he'll be going through a little bit of chemistry and biology. So they do something each section of the year. And then our high schoolers also have their science classes and all of that. So I will get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first things first, our morning time. We are going to be doing a devotional series of thoughts to make your heart sing. This coincides with the Jesus Storybook Bible, which we have read through twice. And I just thought that this would be a sweet little time together. So as I'm reading this, the kids just journal whatever sparks their interest about what I have read, the scripture verse of the day. So each kid will have a spiral bound notebook. We actually started this morning. So this is Miley's. I have them write the date and practice their writing their name in cursive, writing their date in cursive, just, constant reinforcement, constant practice. She wrote down the different scriptures and just some things that stuck out to her from me reading the devotional. So each kid does that during our devotion time. And then our read aloud that we are going to be starting is Huckleberry Finn. I thought this would be a lot of fun. So they are doing that. And then our unit study, so we're actually going to be starting off with 2 unit studies. The first one I'm super excited about. I'm excited about all of them. Is I found this last year. A friend was doing this with her kids and it just looked like so much fun. I didn't end up doing it last year, so we are doing it this year. And there is, and I will, again, we started this morning. I will link it in this down below. It's from Little School of Smiths, and she has a unit study that you can purchase for each American Girl doll. And it basically, it goes off of these Welcome to Felicity's World, Welcome to Samantha's World, whatever American Girl doll. It's based off of these books, which these are amazing books, and I found them on sale. So excited. So it goes off of the time period and shows you what life was like and just different things. But what I like about the unit study, it tells you what pages to read out of this book. And then it has, let me flip to the section for you. It has a supply list, different crafts to do. It has a book list, so other books that you need to read about the time period, like we read about the Boston Tea Party this morning. Different, did I ever say books that you can read towards that? Oh, videos, references that you can watch, whether it's on YouTube. So we read about, you know, the Boston Tea Party. We read the pages in the Felicity World book. And then it has different activities to do. Tea dyed paper. Over here, this one is making a feather pen, a quill pen. I keep calling it a feather pen. So each day, and then we label the 13 colonies. So just each one, Colonial America, Paul Revere, it just gives different craft ideas. So I just know that the girls are really going to like this. And actually, Logan sat down with us as well and was totally involved. I was kind of wondering if it would feel too girlish, but so far it doesn't. So, and then they actually do have a boy book list listed under the unit study as well. So she has a unit study for all of the American Girls. So I'm starting off with Felicity. But because I did find them on sale, I did get Samantha, Kirsten, and Kit, which I'm hoping to do, you know, get throughout the year, and I'll purchase those unit studies when we are ready. Okay, so my plan for doing unit studies is, so Monday is co-op for us. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to do the American Girl study. Wednesdays and Fridays, we're going to do the reptile study. So this doing, you know, something each day will kind of help, and have an assigned day of just, you know, what needs to get done. So then the next unit study that we are going to be doing, which is going to be Jackson, Miley, Logan, and Reagan wants to do it as well, is reptiles and amphibians and fish. And this is with the good and the beautiful. And so far, you know, looking through it, I'm actually waiting on printer ink to show up so that I can get started. It should be here today. I just need to make some copies of some things, but it is pretty much open and go. And we're going to do a vocabulary word wall, and it just tells you know each day different things to read and to put up, you know, learn the vocabulary words. So this day is going to be reptiles, amphibians, and fish, and learn what those are. I got the extra books to go with it. Buzz Trail, the study of a rattlesnake, Curious Reptiles and Amphibians, and the Mystery of the Night Explorers. Actually, I'm sorry, this is not the reptile book. This goes with Miley's reading. Anyways, sorry about that. I had everything not together right. So reptiles, I got the student journals for them. I honestly wasn't thinking that Reagan would want to sit down and do this, but she does. So I'll either make copies of this or buy another one for her. So those are our unit studies. And then we will get on to the core subjects now. We are entering our 13th year of homeschooling, and I can hardly believe it. I know you moms who have had children graduate your homeschool or graduate, you know, from public school, private school, whatever your family decided to do, understand exactly what I'm saying and how I feel. It just goes by so fast. Like, I seriously remember getting Taylor's, our oldest daughter's, kindergarten kit in the mail. Like, it was yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna move on before I get too sappy on y'all. So our oldest daughter is entering her senior year. And so she actually really only needs 2 credits to finish, but we are doing more than that. So the things that she actually needs is a 4th English class and a 4th math class. So she has completed all 3 levels of the Good and the Beautiful high school curriculum. I highly recommend it, especially if your child is an avid reader. It has worked fabulously for Taylor. So since she finished all 3 levels, now some say that that's enough for your 4 English credits. I wanted her to do something else, and we sat down and kind of talked about different ideas, her and I together, of what she would like to do. And this is what we decided to do, is a Great Christian Classics Volume 1 from Master Books. So, they had different high school levels of literature classes, and this is the one that sounded the most interesting to her. And we are pretty familiar with Master Books. We've done their history, and this is set up basically the same way. And so this is what she decided to do for her 4th year of English literature, whatever class you want to call it. So I'm referencing my cheat sheet here. So she will be doing that. So at our co-op, she will be participating in a worldview class. It is a biblical worldview, and it also is a Shakespeare class. So that is an elective credit. She's also going to be doing Algebra 2 on teaching textbooks. So last year she did her first virtual class for math, and it went really well. But she did say that she would like to do teaching textbooks again for math instead of that. So that is what she's doing. She also will be taking an art class at co-op as well. And then she is going to be doing a college and career introduction class online. I just thought that would be, obviously a good stepping stone for her. So those are the courses that Taylor will be taking. And then moving on to Addison, our second oldest daughter, she is going into her junior year. So she also will be doing that biblical worldview class at co-op as well. Also art at co-op, Shakespeare at co-op. She is going to be doing geometry on teaching textbooks. We have used teaching textbooks for, gosh, I don't even know how many years now, a very long time. And it has worked really well for us. So she will be doing, I'm grabbing books as I'm talking, so she will be doing geometry there. So she has not actually finished her English class from last year. We took a break while we, had our small summer break. So she has to finish that up, and this is what she is doing. This is from Christian Light Education, Perspectives of Life in Literature. And once she finishes this, we will move her to the next level. And that's kind of what I was meaning earlier whenever I said where your child is at. We don't always get everything done right whenever it's supposed to, but that is okay. She will finish up what she needs to, and then we will just move on to the next level. So she will have this done probably before Christmas, and then she will move on to the next level for English once we get there. And I haven't fully decided on what she will be doing for that. I probably will stick with what Christian Light offers for the next grade, but I'm not 100% decided on that. So then the next class that she is going to be doing is World History. So the credits that they need for high school is Government and Economics, American History, and World History. So she has actually already gotten the other credits. So this is the last history credit that she's going to be needing, is World History. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I covered, she's also going to be taking chemistry at co-op as well. That's one thing that I love about being a part of a co-op or homeschool group that offers these classes, is those types of classes are just better in a classroom setting, because there's labs and all of that, and I'm very thankful that we have this option. So she will also be taking chemistry as well. So then Peyton's lineup looks very similar to Addison's. She is also going to be in that biblical worldview class, the Shakespeare class. She is also going to be doing geometry on teaching textbooks. And her English class, again, she didn't finish either. So she is in English 1 with Christian Light Education. So she needs to finish up this course, and then she will move on to the course that Addison is finishing up. So Christian Light has worked well for Addie and Peyton. So she needs to finish that up. And then she is going to be doing American History with Master Books. So we got this here for her. And then, so I mentioned English. She also does the art class, and she will be taking chemistry as well in the same class as Addison. So that is all the high school work. I do want to mention that in our co-op, the teachers that they will have for their classes, they do have homework that they will work on throughout the week. They will have reading assignments for the biblical worldview class, chemistry, and, have to have certain assignments done, before the next class. So Moving on to middle school, Jackson is going into the 8th grade. He's doing level 7 of The Good and the Beautiful. I have the reader here that I purchased. So I was trying to print most of the curriculum myself. And I ran into, oh my goodness, just printer issues. Long story, won't bore y'all with it. So I have printed the level 7. I'm actually not done with it yet. So I went ahead and just ordered the book, and I ordered the rest of the curriculums for the other kids since I was having such an issue. So he will be doing level 7 of The Good and the Beautiful. He will also be doing teaching textbooks for math. He will have 2 assigned chapter books to read. This is for the first semester. One will be a biography, one will be a historical fiction book, and like we kind of sit down and discuss those things of what books he would like to read, what he's interested in. And then he's also doing that reptile unit study and all the classes that I had previously mentioned at co-op, art, nature study. He's actually has a science class at co-op, and I'm trying to think of what else. Art, nature study. He doesn't have the geography class anymore. He will also have homework from his science class at co-op as well. So now Logan and Miley are going to be doing level 4 of The Good and the Beautiful. So this is the course book, and then they have a spelling book as well. So I like whenever I can have kids in the same level at the same time, because then I can sit with them at the same time and, you know, work with them together. I'd done this before actually with Addison and Peyton, and it worked really well. So they will be doing that. And this is the readers that's level 7 reader. I keep getting these all mixed up. So the level 4 readers, and then this is the book that I got free for purchasing the whole curriculum, The Mystery of the Night Explorer. So they will be reading that. And then they also are doing math on teaching textbooks. They are doing the American Girl unit study, the reptile unit study, and the classes at co-op that I have mentioned for the other kids too. Okay, hopefully y'all are still with me and are following how we are doing things. It's kind of hard to explain, but this all does work, I promise. So, all right, Reagan. Reagan has been working on My Father's World level 1st grade. We are not finished with it. I have not found, so teaching children to read, and in these younger years, I have not found a good one solid curriculum. I like several of them, but it's like they rush through the phonics portion so fast, like it's not repetitive enough, but then some curriculums are too repetitive, if that makes any sense. So with her, I've done this with several children. I end up using several curriculums until we kind of like hit a roadblock to where it's like it's getting to where they're not understanding. Then I will switch it up. This has just worked for us. So hopefully that makes sense. So we will still be working through My Father's World, the 1st grade. And then I got her The Good and the Beautiful level 1 as well, that we will also be working with to kind of coincide and just reinforce, you know, the early reading portion. She is doing Christian Light Education math as well. I did not grab those workbooks. So the interruptions are going to start happening. The little ones are up from their nap, so I'm going to get through this last little bit pretty quickly. So level 1 reading Christian Light Education for math. Yes. For levels 1 through 3 is kind of what I like to have my kids start at. I just feel like once they get those solid multiplication tables down, you saying hi. So, and then move them to teaching textbooks about grade 4 or 5, just depending on when they have gotten those solid multiplication facts down. So I've gotten questions about that a lot. I do like teaching textbooks, and for the younger grades, I really like Christian Light Education math. So then Harper is going to be doing level K of The Good and the Beautiful. And we've got the reading booster cards that go with it. There's, read that one. Yes, you want to read this one? Yeah. There's the A cards, B cards. I also got the nature reader. So I will have Reagan sit down whenever I'm doing this too. They all like to read the stories that go along together. Yes. I know. You want to read this one too? She now has climbed up. I'm going to get her. So, you're so funny, Kenny. So it's a little bit later. I got the little kids settled. I was getting really distracted with knowing that they were up and I needed to attend to them. But I realized that I did not share what I was doing for Drew being in pre-K. So I got a pre-K book for him about February or March of earlier this year that he is still working in, and he will also be included in the other things that we are doing, more so the hands-on activities. And he is learning, he can write his name, but just learning to write it, more efficiently. So that is what we will be focusing on with him. So that is all the curriculum that we are going to be using this year. Remember, do what works for you. And if, curriculum isn't working and there's something else that would work better, it is okay to stop partway and, try something else and then come back to what you were doing. I have done that multiple times, and that has worked and kind of helped us get through whatever stumbling block that we were on. Anyways, like I said, I gotta go because the little kids are up now. I also have to get all these books put up and in order. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, hearing a little bit about how we are gonna have school this year. I am really excited about the things that we chose. The kids are too, and they are ready to get started. I hope that you all are well and blessed, and we will see y'all in the next video.